Today we are going to build a website. It's going to look something like this right here. Of course, you'll be able to change colors and whatever you want to do. I'll go over as thoroughly as possible. So this will be a little bit of a long video. Anyhow, what we're going to do here is we're going to have a web page with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 2 containers inside here. 7, 8 containers total. We got a header, title bar, top navigation, main container, 2 containers within main, uh, a nav bar inside of a footer down here. And we're going to use a web font. We're going to self-host a web font. I'm going to show you where you can use a web font. It's completely free to use, licensed to use, and you can self-host it, publish it with your website, because people most likely won't have this font. It's called Serena on their computer, but because of the way Dreamweaver works, it will put the font right up with your website and they'll be able to see it. And we're going to have on our navigation, we're going to have a CSS hover effect here, both for top and bottom. So let's get started. If you need WordPress hosting, I provide WordPress hosting for as low as $5 a month. I actually provide quite a bit more than that. You can see WordPress, Joomla, Drupal, Moodle, Mambo, PrestaShop, PHP, BB. These have an installer to install them for you. There's no special knowledge needed. I provide hosting accounts as low as $5 a month. I also provide virtual private servers and dedicated servers. And if you want a $5 account, if that's what you're looking for, you just simply click on the shared plans and you see it right there, the starter. So the first thing you'll want to do is you're going to want to get a new web page. Now I have my site on the XAMPP ZAMPP server on my computer. There is a video at my website, skeeterz71.com. It'll show you how to put a website, put XAMPP on your computer and put a website on it. But I've already got mine and I'm not going to go over that part in this video. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to create an HTML page. Excuse me, we're not going to do it that way. We're going to go File, New, HTML, and because I'm going to use some HTML5 in here, I'm going to select HTML5. And that's going to put this doc type up here to let you know, to let browsers know it's an HTML5. Now, if you got your insert panel open, you can certainly use your inserts for what I'm about to do here, and your CSS, you'll need that open as well. And you can go to your Windows button if you don't have those. Ones you're going to want turned on, you're going to want your properties turned on, your CSS styles turned on, your files turned on. At minimum, you will need that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up our container. So we're going to insert a div. Now some people call this a wrapper. I call it a container. We're going to give it an ID of containers. And everything we do is going to be put inside this container. So I'm going to create me a little space here. I'm going to go ahead and take this out because we don't need it. And the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a header. So I'm going to use HTML5 here. And I'm going to type it in. You'll notice I have code hinting on. If you don't already, this is Dreamweaver CS6. Dreamweaver CC may already have this. It wouldn't surprise me if it does. But Dreamweaver CS6 doesn't have HTML5 code hinting set up for you. You have to do it yourself. You can go up to the edit menu, go to your tag libraries, click on the plus sign, create a new tag library. You'll notice I call mine, there it is, HTML5 tags. Okay, once you got your new tag library created, you will go and click and you'll add a new tag. Just type the word in. Don't include this part right there. It won't accept that. Just type the word in. You can Google all the HTML5 tags, but for the purposes of this, you just need the header and type it in just like that, and nav just like that, and footer, just like that. Those are the only three we'll be working with in this video. Okay, so then of course it will complete for me. Okay, after the header, we're going to create a title bar. So we're going to insert a div, give it an ID of title bar, and we'll go ahead and leave that information in there for now. And I like to put, when I end the div, I like to name it. So I'm going to put me a comment there that won't be seen by the human being. So that's the title bar goes there. Underneath the title bar, we're going to have a navigation bar. And we're going to give this an ID because we're going to have two navigation bars on this page, top and bottom. We're going to give this one an ID of we'll give this one an ID of top nav, so we can style it with our CSC. And then of course I'm going to end it there. And after the top nav, we're going to have our main. So we're going to insert a div here, give it an ID of main, and we're going to get rid of this content right here, and we're going to insert another div, and we're going to give it an ID of content 1, and we're going to insert another div right in main. We're going to give it ID of content 2. If you remember, I said we'll have two containers inside main. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and end main here so I can remember where it's at. And we'll go ahead and end these two. And we'll end this one. And this was our container div, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, forgot to end that one. So it can get a little tricky to figure out what's what if you don't put a little comment at the end of them so you can figure out what div's what. And at the end of main, we're going to create a footer. And inside the footer, we're going to break it apart. And we're going to put we're going to insert a div. Actually, it's going to be a nav with an ID of bottom nav. And we'll go ahead and close that. And there we have the basic structure of our page. We'll go ahead and put bottom nav here so we can see it on the page. And this one here was header, so we'll go ahead and put header there so we can see it on the page as well. So that is our basic structure of our web page. Now we're going to get it all arranged correctly using CSS, and that will be the next part of this video. Okay, if you haven't already done so, go ahead and save your web page. Typically, you would save the home page as an index.html page. So let's get busy styling this now. I'm going to go ahead and split this open so we can see what we're doing. So basically, the way I like to style things is I like to go find the tag I'm styling here, like header for example, and click on it. Open up my style sheet panel, and it will go ahead and select that for me. Now we don't need the word container there uh, at all, so I'm going to remove that out. And we're going to go to the box settings. Now this page, actually first we need to do container, don't we? So let's do container first. Click on container. Okay. So we're going to go to the box, and this is going to be 1024 by 768. And we're going to set margins right and left to auto, so it centers up in the browser instead of being pushed to the left. Okay, so now we have it 1024 by 768. And if you look at it, you see this outside part's our container. It goes all the way down there. Now we're going to arrange the rest of this stuff within this container where it belongs. So we're going to start with header. You can click right here, or click right here, or go to your code like I like to do, and click right there. And it'll pull it up for you. We're going to go ahead and remove the word container. We really don't need it there. Alright, so we're going to just go ahead and set the default. It's going to set it up. And this is where we're going to go to the box model. The width is going to be 1024. And we're going to make the height of this 125 pixels. Now, when we get into working on the paddings and margins and stuff in this stuff later, we're going to make adjustments to all this. But I want to do that at that time so we can know why we're doing what we're doing. So, and let's go ahead and give the background color to the header. Let's make it black. And for the type, we'll go ahead and make it white. Just so we can see what's going on here. So there's what we have right now. So now for the title bar, we're going to style it. So we're going to go in, we're going to find the tag for the title bar, and we're just going to click on it. We're going to go to our style sheet, and again, we don't need the word container, so we're going to remove container, and we're going to click OK. And we're going to go to the box, and the width is going to be 1024, and height, we're going to make this 50 pixels. 50 pixels. Again, we're going to make some adjustments to this later, but for now, we're just kind of getting everything right where we want it. And you'll notice again it adjusted that for us. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to go to main, and we're going to want to click on the word there, and we're going to create a new style sheet. Again, we don't need the word container there, so we're going to take that out, except the default. And main is going to be 1024 by 448. And again, we're not going to mess with the padding or anything right at this moment. So now let's take a look here. You'll notice we got main, it's right here. And main includes these two right here. So we're going to style these next, the content 1 and content 2. So we'll go to content 1, click on it, click on style sheet. And we'll leave main on there for readability purposes. When you glance quickly at the style sheet, you'll realize that content 1 belongs inside of main. The reason why we're removing containers is because you know everything belongs inside of containers. So we're going to just remove container, and we're going to keep main there. We're going to go to the box. And we know that the width of our main container is 1024, so we're going to divide that in two. It's going to be 512. And we know the height of our main container is going to be, what is it, 448? Yeah, the height of our container is 448. And we're going to go ahead and apply that. And we're going to, and you'll see here, we're about to add some color to everything so you can see it a little bit better. The content one's there, content two got shoved underneath. We're going to fix that, but let's go ahead and go ahead and do content two. Again, it's going to be 512. We'll clip off container there. We don't need that. And that's going to be, we're going to go to box. Width is going to be 512. And height is going to be 448. And we're going to apply that. And we're going to take a look. Let me go ahead, let's color in some of this stuff real quick. So it's a little bit easier. We're going to leave the title bar. We'll go to the title bar here. And we're going to create a background color. And it is going to be pound FFCC00. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and color in main. Did we skip top nav? We did skip top nav. Let's go to top nav. Click on top nav. And we get rid of word container. Top nav was going to be 1024. And we're going to give it a height of 45. We're going to leave it white. But we're going to put some words in here so we can see it. So we can just see the separation. We're going to leave that one white. Alright, now let's go to main. Instead of giving main a background color, we'll give content 1 and content 1 a background color, and we'll leave content 2 white so you can see what's about to happen. So we're going to give content 1 a background color. Whoops. Let's go ahead and same color, FFCC00. Alright, so let's take a look at what we got. And you'll notice that content 2 is still shoved up underneath content 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to pin content 1 all the way to the left in the CSS. Here's how we do that. We go to the box model and we'll go float left. Alright, we've pinned content 1 to the left. We're going to pin content 2 to the right. So let's go ahead and content 2 box. And we're going to float right. Alright, so now you see the content 2's over here, contents 1's over here. Now we can go ahead and color in content 2 with the same color, background, FFCC00. And there we go. Alright, now the bottom nav. Let's go ahead and go back to the code. Make sure, take a look here. Actually, let's start with footer. We'll style the footer. Footer will be 1024 by 100. And again, we can take the word container off. This will be 1024 by 100. Let's see what we have here. And the bottom nav is going to be inside. And we're going to style the bottom nav at the end. We're going to do some things to it. Okay, so let's take a look, see what we got here. We got the header, title bar, top nav, content 1, content 2, bottom nav located within the footer. So we pretty much got these styled the way we want them. well, we'll go ahead and style bottom nav. So we can just click there. ID bottom nav. Oops, I forgot my equal sign. Always messes up when you don't put that in there. There we go. That's what I want. And just so we'll know that we'll leave footer in there so we'll know that that's with the bottom nav. And we'll go ahead and give this a width of 2.4. And we'll give it a height of 1/2 the footer. The footer was 100, so we're going to give this one a 50 pixel height. Alright, now let's take a final look at it. And there we go. Alright, let me see here. Let's take a look. We got everything. It looks like we got everything positioned where we want it. And so now for the next things we're going to do, first thing we're going to do, we're going to work on the header. And that will be the next part of this video. Alright, on this next part of the video, we're going to style the header. And we're going to include a web font. It's absolutely free. It's a license. You can use it. It comes with the license. And it's called Serena. First thing we want to do is we want to go to Google Web Fonts. And we're going to type in Serena, Sarina, and there it is. And we'll add to our collection. And now we want to download it. Zip file. Save it somewhere. What's wrong here? There we go. And I'm just going to save it. I've already got it saved once, so I'm just going to throw it into a folder. I've already got it on mine, but I'm going to walk you through the steps here. So we'll save, open. Let's go back to the folder. There it is. Let's go ahead and extract it. And this is what we're looking for. Now we want to go to Font Squirrel. So, because I can't spell squirrel, I'll type it in and it'll finish it for me. There we go. Font Squirrel, we're going to click on the web font generator. And we're going to make sure optimal is selected. And we're going to tick yes, we're uploading a legal font. We're going to add our web font. Okay. And we're going to go to the original folder here. Find our Serena folder. And we're going to double click on that. And it's going to take a minute. For mine, it's pretty quick. And then we're going to download the kit. And it takes a minute for it to download the kit, web font kit. And we're going to save it. And we're going to save it in the Serena folder. Let's go ahead and close that out. Now there's some things I want to do before we do this web font. What we're going to do is we're going to create a couple quick styles, put them on the body. Let's go up here and add a little bit of default body information. Alright, I know that my font family is going to be Arial and whatnot. My default font size is going to be 14 pixels. Line height, the distance between paragraphs is going to be 1.5 EMs, which is about 1.5 times the 14 pixels. Let's go ahead and put color up there where it belongs. There we go. I make this an H1. If you don't have your properties bar, go up to Windows and make sure you have your properties selected. So we're going to have H1 here, and we'll make this H2. Alright, so we have our H1 and our H2. So we're going to go ahead and select H1. We're going to make a style for it. We can remove everything but the H1 there. And we're going to, first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to edit font list, ignore that word there because I have removed it from my machine so I could go through this. Edit font list, web fonts, add font, we'll call it Serena, and we're going to open up the file here. There it is, web font kit. And there's the EOT. That's the one we're looking for, EOT. Google is going to figure out the rest of them just from that one EOT right there. So go ahead and select that, and you notice how Google, Google, Dreamweaver is going to figure it out. Go ahead and say you got it licensed. Say OK, and then done. And then go down here, find it, add it, it come up here, OK, OK, and apply. If you look at it, now don't worry about the way it looks right now because we're gonna work on that, make it look a little bit better. But in our H1, what happened to our H1 tag? There it is. H1, we got Serena. Now we're going to go to box, and we're going to set margins to 0. Take out the spacing that your H1 tag has built in it to it naturally. You'll notice H2 separated us right here because of its spacing, so we're going to go to the H2 tag. Click on it. And we're going to remove the margins on that as well. So, and it brings it up there. Now we'll adjust this where it all belongs with some padding here in a little bit. Now because I like to have my stuff kind of where everything belongs, I'm going to move this on up here right under body. And move that one right up under our body. So we can go look and we see we have our defaults right here for our web page set up. We're going to go ahead and let's set a size for H2 and H1. H1 we're going to set it to type, font size, we're going to make it 4 EMs, about 4 times the size of the this is for the H1 now. We'll make it 4 times the size. Of the default font. And H2, we're going to make it about 1 3/4 times the size. So EMs. Alright. Now let's go ahead, get back into here. Let's change this word here. Change it to option. And you'll notice I set it like that. Alright, now let's go back and let's go to our header. Let's go to the box. And you'll notice, I'm going to show you something here. Let me pull this off to the side. What we want to do is we want to drop this down and to the right some. So we're going to add padding to the top. We'll say we're going to add 35 pixels of padding to the top. Let's untick that so it's We don't do the same thing to everything. And we'll add 35 pixels to the left. Now watch what happens to the top navigation box when I do this. You'll notice that it is now extending beyond everything, because when you add padding, you're actually increasing the size of your box. Whatever you added in padding is going to be uh, added to the actual size of your box. So what we need to do in order to get this right, we need to go back in here and on the top, on our height, top to bottom would be height. We need to subtract 35 pixels. So that would be what? 100. Be 95, right? 95 plus 35 is 125. Okay. And for the width, be I can't add in my mind worth of crap. So let's minus 35. Be 989. Width would be 989. So that should bring it all back right where it was, and it did. And this is what it's actually going to look like. So let's deal with so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to style our title bar. So we're going to first add the correct words here. And we're going to take a look at our go ahead and style this. So we're going to style the title bar, and we're going to say type. Nope, excuse me, block. And we're going to text align in center. You'll notice it moved to the center. And we're going to go to the box. And again, remember, we're going to add some padding, so we're adding to the width, and whatever we add to the top here, we're going to have to subtract from the height. So we're going to say 15 pixels. So that should be 35, right? Let's see how that looks. And what did we do here? Oh, we forgot to untick. Yeah, it's easy to forget to do that. To untick, do everything. So I'm going to go ahead for now. Let's go back to 0. Get it back to where it was. Then untick that. Let's put 15 pixels from the top. And that puts it back where it's supposed to be. And while I'm thinking about it, I think our word option could be a little bit bigger. So let's go in here and let's make this 4.5 EMs. There we go, that's much better. Okay, so now we have our header styled, we have our title bar styled. Now it's time for the navigation. So let's give a home. And let's say what we're going to call portfolio. Portfolio. Let's say about us. And contact us. Now let's split this open so we can see what's going on here. So let's highlight home and create a temporary link by putting a pound sign in the link here. And then portfolio, same thing. About us, the same thing. And contact us, same thing. Let's go ahead and stack these up. You got to remember that in HTML, you can rearrange stuff for readability, and it's not going to affect the way it displays at all in the browser. So it's okay to do this. It's not going to stack it up on your page. So there's our 4 links there within our navigation, within our top navigation. Now we need to style these 4 links, so it does. We're going to style some color, give it a hover effect, give it some spacing. So that's the next step. Okay, so let's click on our first link here. And we're going to take out, and this is going to style them all the same. So we're going to just take out the container part because everything belongs to the container. Let's go to type. Let's give it a color. Yeah, I do that every time. Our color will be pound F5A06E. And our font family is taken on the body font. Okay. And text decoration, we'll get none. It's going to get rid of the underline. See how it got rid of the underline right there? So text decoration is going to be none. Text transform, we're going to make it all uppercase. See, there it goes, uppercase. And font weight, we're going to make bold. And we're going to go to block. And we're going to display inline, block. And we're going to go to box. We're going to give a margin. Right margin, let's untick right margin. It's going to be 15. Okay, so got the right margin 15. Let's give it some top padding of, say, 10 pixels. And again, I forgot to untick, so let's go back. 0. So untick that. Get top nav up top here. And we're going to do this box here. We're going to give it padding, say, of 5 pixels. And so we'll shrink this to 40. And again, I forgot to untick. So let's make it all back to 0. Untick. Do that every time. That way and there's what we're looking at right now. I probably need to give it some left padding too. So let's give it some left padding. Let's give it 15 pixels of left padding. So B09, right? 009. There we go. And there's a reason I'm doing this. We're going to put a radius on those corners, so we wanted to pull that out. We'll probably give it a little more padding too. So let's do that. Let's give it a little more top padding. Let's say 10. And we'll change that to 35. There we go. That looks better. Much better. Alright. Now we want to get that hover effect. Go ahead. Be sure to save frequently. We want to get that hover effect. So let's go find our links again. Click on it again. Because this will be for top and bottom. Well, no, it's going to be 2 different sizes, so never mind. Let's keep top nav A. And at the end of A, hover. And we want to go to border. We're going to untick all these boxes up top. And we're going to give a bottom border. It's going to be solid. And we're going to make it 2 pixels. Color right there. Okay, so now this is what we have when you hover. Okay, our top navigation has been styled. Save again. Now it's time to come into main. First thing I want to do a main. Actually, we're going to have to do this somewhere else. I forgot about needing to put the radius onto our container there, so we're going to need to put another wrapper right inside of main. We're going to insert a div tag. And we'll give this inner main. ID of enter main. Let's go ahead and end it. Alright, and let's go ahead and take this div tag. It starts right after main, and it's going to end right before main. So it's going to end right in here. And we're going to go ahead and take a look what we got here. Content for enter main goes here. Oh yeah, and also go to your, I already did it, but go to your content 1, content 2, go to your background colors and remove those colors we put in earlier. Okay. So we're going to go back to our code here, and we're going to remove this line here. We don't need that. And we're going to click on enter main. We're going to create a new rule, a new CSS. And we can just take out everything but enter main. And we're going to give it the same width and height as main. So it's going to be 1024. What is it, 448, I believe. And we're going to give it a background color. We'll put our background color in, FFCC00. We'll apply, and this is what we have now. So leave it in live view for what we're going to do next. Just go ahead and leave it in live view. And we're going to go find enter main. And I want to move top nav right there where it belongs. Alright. I like to have things in order. But anyhow, click on enter main. We're going to add a new property. You can't do it from the you can't add the radius from the properties box here anywhere. You have to do it from down here. So we're going to add a property, border radius. We're just going to type in the word border so it gets us close. And we're going to look for, there it is, border radius. And we're just going to play around with some numbers. Let's see what 25 pixels looks like. Let's try 15. Yeah, we'll go with 15 pixels for this. So here we have our border radius. We left it checked, same for all. So now we have the radius here. Let's go back to this view here. And let's go ahead and take this out. Now I have a picture that I'm going to insert that I happen to know is 500 pixels wide. And you should always give alternate text for your pictures. And that is pictures 500 pixels wide. I'm going to want to add a 72 pixel top and side padding. So let's go to content 1. And we're going to add 72 pixels here. And there I go doing it again. So let's go ahead and stick 0 back in. Top and left going to be 72 pixels. Now remember we added that to the box, so we're going to have to take it out of our width and our height. So let me pull up my calculator because I'm not real good at doing numbers in my head. 2 minus 72, 440. And 448. 376. And we're going to apply. And you'll notice it went over here, so we're going to have to adjust container number 2. We're going to need to make it 72 pixels smaller than what it was. So to get everything to fit right. So width is 512. What was, see, that's, my memory is not very long. So 512 minus 72 440. Okay, so we'll make this width 440. And let's see how that's working out. Is that working out right? That is not working out right. Let's see where did I go wrong on my math? Looks like looks like this box is right, this box is wrong. So we're gonna have to add 72. I must have done something wrong with the math, but let's add 72 pixels to that. I did something wrong, not exactly sure. So 440 plus 72, 512. Well, that come out working out right. We got that buttered up there right. Go figure. Sometimes I confuse myself, but anyhow, we got that right now. And we'll see what it looks like in live view. Alright, so now I'm going to go grab some Lorem Ipsum. We'll go pork Lorem Ipsum. Just a little humor here. It's uses all different kinds of meats and stuff. So let's grab about 3 paragraphs of this and put it on the other side. And let's go ahead and call this street scene, give it a heading. Street scene, we'll make that an H2. And if you remember, we set our margins to 0 when we did that, so it pulled it right on up top there. And we're gonna give this container 72 padding from the top and about 15 from the side. So box top, we're gonna go 72, and there I go doing it again. Zero it out. I do it every time. Now let's take a look, see what it did. See, it pushed it down below there, so we need to adjust the box for that. Now we got the X height, the street scene of the fonts here. The X height is the same as the picture. So let's go back and let's shrink our box up. So height 448 minus 72. 376. Is that not right? Main content 2 that should be right. Ah, I see why it didn't work. We forgot to put overflow property on here. Positioning, overflow to hidden. That should fix that. Yep. It clips your text there, so it forces you to have to actually adjust your text to fit or adjust your container. So that's how you keep overflow from happening, by that right there. Alright, so we got that set up right. Alright, all we have left to do now is our bottom navigation and footer. So we'll say terms of service. And we'll do privacy policy. Let's do partners. Alright, so let's go ahead and make some temporary links with these. So I'll highlight, put the pound sign in. And another pound sign. And another pound sign. Here we got our temporary links. And let's go ahead and arrange this where we can see it a little bit better. Alright, now we got our temporary links. Let's go to the footer bottom nav. Let's give our font color F5 pound F5A06E. And text decoration is going to be none. We're going to go to block. We'll text align center. And we're going to display as block. Instead of inline block, it's going to be block. That way it moves our stuff center. And of course I needed to put my color on my link and not on that. So we can go ahead and remove the color from here. We'll remove it from here. We're going to put it on the actual link itself. And again, we're going to click there. We'll create a new rule. We'll take out everything but bottom nav A. We'll put the color there. And let's text transform to uppercase. And no style. Font weight bold. Yep. And we need to get some padding in there. So we're going to put some padding on the bottom nav. And we'll say, let's put 10 pixels of padding at the top, which means we need to reduce this. And of course I did it again. Every time I do that. And we're going to reduce this by 10, so that's going to be 40. Okay, we have that. And now we're going to click in our link one more time and create the hover effect. And we're going to clear out this. And we're going to put a colon after A, colon, and then hover. And we're just going to go to the border, untick everything. And width is going to be solid for style. Width is going to be 2 pixels. And the color, we got the color already. Pound F5A06E. And let's see how that works. Alright. And we're going to get some space between here, so we're going to go to the bottom nav. A anchor link there. Let's give margin space 15 pixels. Leave to the right. Let's see how that looks. Yep, there we go. Perfect. And there you go. Now I'm not going to do this in this video, but we had made the footer a little bit wider, so you could go in and you could insert your Facebook, Twitter, and whatnot, social icons down here if you would like to, into this part of the footer. That's why I left that extra space there. And now let's go ahead and look, see what we got. Go back to the design view. It's in live view. All of our hovers are working. We got our text in there. We got our picture off the corner here. I probably put a little too much padding on that picture. So we could actually go in and adjust that picture. Content 1, padding. So let's make it 60. So we can add 12 here, 76, 86, 88. should be right. Okay. So we put the box at 376, get the height right here. And to get the width right, we got this box here. See how we did this. Okay, content 1, what did we do to content 1? We meant to subtract 12. We're going to put that back to 60. So we'll apply. Okay. There, that looks a little better. So there we go. You got to play around with padding. So, but anyhow, let's take a look at it in our browser. And there it is. Well, we have to fix that padding. So let's fix that padding real quick. Content 2, we need a right padding. So we'll make a right padding of 15 pixels. And that means we need to subtract 15 pixels from the width, right? So 25,425. That should be right. Let's see how that works. Oh, that's right. I got to reload. Reload it. That's much better. That's all there is to it. I'm sorry I got confused a little bit on it, but I have to think out the padding sometimes because it really does change things. Have a good day.